welcome to my October finished pages video. Sorry this is a little bit late filming this month. Just one thing and another this week, just couldn't quite find the time. Finished some pages but didn't quite manage to film it quite when I'd like to, but never mind, at least I've got some things to show you. So without further ado, I shall get straight into it. So this is obviously a very well known book, Magical Dawn by Hannah Carlson. Had it quite a while, got quite a few bits done in this particular book, but I did this one this month. So prismas mainly for me, which is unusual. I have been suffering, I think where I hold the pencil like that, I'm getting quite a numb thumb and finger. So this month I have kind of tried to use softer pencils this month, just to kind of give my finger and thumb a little bit of a break. So most of this is prismas, and then quite a little bit of work with just a Posca pen, and I have some like a different cheaper kind of Posca versions. So I think some of them are Thule Art ones, I think some of them are Artistro, and then the metallic little bits and pieces are just the Spectrum Noir glitter markers, the thick ones. So they're just a touch of it here and there, but yeah, nothing spectacular. Just fancied, I do like doing a butterfly and a bit of flowers sometimes. It's quite relaxing. So yeah, that was my first one, Butterfly and Some Flowers by Hannah Carlson. Nothing too exciting or dangerous really. And again, carrying on with the relaxing theme really. This is a kind of magazine book that you can get in supermarkets in the UK. So it's only a cheap thing, I think £6-7, something like that. So they're in the main, they're kind of Zentangle-y pattern things. So I tend to use it just for something to relax to do really. So this was, yeah, just one of those. I wasn't really in the mood for any heavy colouring really, and just thought, oh yeah, I'll try and do something a bit more relaxing. So this is a Pro Marker as a base. So you can kind of see it's obviously bled through quite a lot. My Pro Markers are ancient. I can't honestly believe they're still working, most of them. But yeah, I'm kind of thinking I want to use them up and get rid of what ink's left still in them. So I might do something like this most months really, just A, for relaxation, and B, so I can kind of start to get a bit of space over there on my pen rack with pens that I don't use that often, but they're still perfectly usable. So I'm going to try and make myself use them. So yeah, marker base of Pro Marker, and then silver metallic and white metallic to basically, I've gone over most of the line work that's on this piece. The odd bits I've left in the spirals I've left, because I don't particularly like it when you try and go over a spiral. It's very difficult to get the pattern just exactly precise that's on there. A bit of silver pit pen, and some sparkling silver Signo Uniball as well, just in some of the little circle bits and pieces. So some of them are silver, some of them are pink, just on the little blobs that are in there. But yeah, mainly fun, this one really. These just are, yeah, just very patterny. So I probably won't ever fill one of these, but I quite enjoy doing them every so often. Just a bit of mindless colouring, good for the brain when you're busy, I think. And this month has been extremely busy. So next one, Maria Torrell, Drum Reese. This is my first Maria Torrell book, and I think it is my favourite of all her books really. Not quite sure why, but just something about the drawings I really like in this one. This one again, kind of relaxing for me really. It's purely just all Holbein, and then I think I did just use a couple of luminance on her skin, just because I'm more confident with the luminance with skin because I'm used to doing it. But yeah, nothing too complicated. This one already had a pre-printed black background, so I've done nothing with the background. I've just worked on the flowers and the leaves and the little girl. But yeah, I really like this book. I think the other one I've done in here, not this month, is towards the front. I think this was unusual for me in that it's polychromos, which are not I don't love the texture polychromos leave. I suppose I could go over now and flatten it a little bit with a blender or something, but I did do that quite a while ago, that one. But that's the other one that I have done in here that took ages because there's so much in there, isn't there? But yeah, I really like this book, and most of this book is one-sided as well. So if you particularly want a one-sided Maria Torrell book, that is probably a good one to get. And then I've done a second one in Tales from the Witches Cottage by Hannah Carlson, somewhere here. So yeah, I've had a go at a witch, as it was my October pages. This was a mix of things really, so I think most of her body and her clothes are luminance, but as hopefully you can tell, though it's a very grey, miserable day again here, I'm afraid. It's raining and really cold where I am today. But yeah, a bit of watercolour work in the background on some of her jewellery and the spider web and things like that. So all this background is just metallic watercolours of different shades that are in there. I don't think I've used any. It might be a little bit of white gel pen here and there, although I'm not spotting it myself, I've got to be honest. But yeah, so that's this month's Out of the Witch's Cottage. And I've only done 2 out of that one so far. Next one, this one was a cheapie, and I think it really was cheap. I don't know how I've got it so dirty on the cover. I think it's from chucking it in my bag. This was a really cheap book from the Works. I'm sure lots of you know the Works. It is pretty much what it says. So it's just a book full of sugar skulls, and I thought, I don't mind doing a sugar skull occasionally, but I must admit, when I got this home and I thought about it, I thought that it is an entire book of sugar skulls. Illustrations wise, it looks like they're all Shutterstock images, so sorry, I can't credit anybody. But the only image that wasn't a sugar skull in this book was this one that I did this month, and again still in Prisma because my fingers are still sore. So it's pretty much all Prisma, the girls, the hair, the flowers. Obviously Prisma's not ideal for hair really, because you want nice little sharp marks, don't you? And obviously it's a very soft pencil, so it's a bit trickier to do the hair with it. But that said, I quite like it, and this is obviously not great paper anyway, and it's, you know, it's sat really well on this paper. Background is an Arteza acrylic paint, so I think I just mixed 2 shades to get this. I kind of didn't want black, so it has a bit of purple in it really that I've just mixed to get this colour, because I wanted something that kind of went with the red and the purple but wasn't kind of overpowering her. But yeah, I really enjoyed doing this one. It's fairly quick because it's in Prisma. I think you make a lot more progress in Prisma much quicker, I think, really. They're just, like I say, it's not ideal for her, but I managed. I quite like what I've done with it. Well, how much more of this book I'll do, I don't know, because it's literally, as you can see, if you like sugar skulls, this might be the book for you. But yeah, enjoyed that one this month. This next one is definitely has been my nemesis this month. It's one of those that I've started and had to keep coming back to because I don't know, it felt like it would never end. So Wonder Morphia by Clara Makover. Beautiful images in this book as usual, but this one has taken me so long. I don't really quite know why. I think this top bit particularly just seemed to take ages. The little fiddliness of the kind of hilly mountain bits that are kind of the squid's head. Yeah, I found it really seemed to need a lot of layers in order to be quite vivid. It's a mixture of different bits and pieces in this, so I think I started on the squid in light fast to begin with, and I wasn't totally happy with it, so again went over with Prismas, in my Prisma month this month, and a little bit of light fast in the clouds, because I do prefer light fast to work, because the white is quite opaque in the light fast. I find it really works well in clouds, and then a little bit of Prisma in the clouds as well. A lot of metallic watercolour, so all the sea, both above and below the waterline, are all metallic watercolours. And then there's some glitter watercolours on the squid as well, and I think a little bit in some of the details of the boats and the parachutists and bits and pieces like that that's took a bit, and of course white gel pen for the water bubbles and the odd little bit of detail here and there. But yeah, for such a small picture, it seems to have taken me so long. And I still kind of feel, there's bits I'd want to go back into and do a little bit more on it, but I'm at that now. I'm calling it done stage, even though, like I say, I think there are bits that I would like to add a bit more detail. Maybe at some point I will go back and add a little bit more here and there, but for now I'm calling it done. It's done. I'm not looking at it again this month. And then another of my favourites, so obviously these are quite new to me, Clara Makover, Fairy Miracles. I can never remember which book I'm in, which time. This one again is all Holbein and a little bit of white gel. Nothing much too exciting. I've drawn all the clouds in on the background on this particular piece, and obviously shaded the sky in as well, just to kind of form the cloud shapes, but nothing too exciting. Again, I just enjoy working on Clara's pages. They're just fun. They're not too difficult. You don't really have to think too much about what's going on with them. I don't know what it is about mushrooms. I really enjoy colouring mushrooms. I don't know why that is. I'm not a huge unicorn lover, but yeah, because I had quite a few mushrooms on it, I thought, yes. And it's quite bright and cheerful, isn't it? And it's, like I say, the weather's here's gone a bit miserable now, so I quite like a bit of bright colour and vivid things, so it worked for me, and yeah, I enjoyed doing it. So yeah, just mainly Holbein and a white gel pen here and there, I think mainly for his spots, and a little bit round the wings, just to, because she has quite heavy black lines, dotted lines, but still quite dark, and I didn't want the wings dark, so I've used a bit of gel pen along there as well. But yeah, quite enjoyed it. And then the last one for me this month is from, again, a fairly new purchase for me. So this one's been sat on my shelf for a couple of months maybe. Beautiful book, beautiful paper in it. I think I got mine from Amazon Japan, Amazon Germany, Amazon Japan on the brain. But yeah, I was really pleased with it. This one I've really enjoyed working on. I was a bit nervous about it because it's not an image that I've kind of done anything like this really. Particularly all this kind of bone and ram's horn kind of thing. I was a bit, oh, that looks quite difficult to do, but the horn was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. The bone bit here was much harder. I think on the original drawing the lines were only very faint and they didn't connect to each other. There was just a very light suggestion that there might be some of those, so I kind of drew in similar shapes to the ram's horn, but without kind of making it the same really, because it is a different texture. It's more like a bit of skull, isn't it, than a horn. So yeah, that took a bit of time, and certainly shading it, I wanted it to be different to the horn and have a different look to it. So I was quite pleased with how this has worked out really. It's, like I say, it did take quite a bit of time really, but all of her, the dragon, all of her jewellery and bits and pieces are all just light fast. The background is one of those trays of gouache. I think it's mine. So mine, again, I've not used it a huge amount, and it did take a few coats to get the kind of texture to be as I'd liked it. And I think I did the little dragon's little smoke bits and pieces in the paint as well, but pretty much that was it for the paint. So she's pretty much all light fast, apart from this little bit of steam from his nose. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and there's some great images in this book. Not all for me, but I think some of them, yeah, I'll probably do some more of these this year, hopefully. And it was quicker than I thought really, but yeah, really really lovely book. If you haven't got it, totally recommend it. Well, it's more like a card really, the paper, but yeah, really lovely book. And that is pretty much it this month for all of my colouring. Not too exciting, not too long for ages either. So yeah, I hope there was something that inspired you in some way and that you're enjoying your colouring this month. I shall look forward to viewing everybody else's videos as well. Okay, bye for now, bye bye.